Okay, lads, let's turn this toilet into a toilet. It's not in ShawScope with me, Brian Bach, and them.
Sir Quigley busted anus.
Yeah.
Whew, there's a mouthful.
And Sebastian Bumhole.
Both kind of ring piece centered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
so
the
this is
Celtic
our
connection, really.
this is our spin-off from In ShawScope, our award-winning. This spin-off hasn't won any awards yet, but it will. It's only a matter of time. And
we could be like Trump and just like invent one, or get an organization just to invent one for us.
Or threaten
that is only applicable to us.
Yeah, or just take somebody else's.
Not a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
So last time on the regular show, we discussed the Monkey or Journey Goes West quartet from Shaw Brothers. So this is one in maybe 3 or 4 spin-off Monkey Journey to the West shows we'll be doing. And this was actually quite a lot more fun than I expected. It'll be interesting to see what you fellas thought. 3 animated takes, namely Princess Iron Fan from 1941, Alakazam the Great,
or
in the US, or SAIYUUKI, 1960.
That's gonna be fun.
And Uproar in Heaven or Havoc in Heaven from 61 to 64. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all of these then predate the Shaw films, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But the Shaw films come out pretty much hot on the heels of these last 2 animated versions, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering how much they might have created the environment for them to be made.
I'm thinking that too. I feel like it was something in the air at the time, and Shaw decided to jump on it. But yeah, because it seems to me even the last Chinese film almost feels like it's a response to the Japanese one that's just come out. In that it's the same directors who directed Princess Iron Fan, and it's kind of like they're don't you steal our thunder? We're gonna
better throw him at it. Yeah.
Well, let's start then with Princess Iron Fan. Made by the Warner Brothers, but directorial work specifically credit to Wang Guchang, right? And this is the Shanghai Animated Film studio from 1941, black and white. Neither of us had seen this one before, right?
Nope.
And I mean, fuck me, did I have a blast with this, because
good.
It's very Fleischer Brothers.
Yes, that was my first. I felt it was more Fleischer than Disney for sure. More bizarre.
Yeah, especially because they use rotoscoping.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to bring up rotoscope. Yeah.
Which it looks like it, and I checked it out. It is rotoscoping, and also
it's very well done.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant!
Very well done.
Brilliant
You can hardly tell it's rotoscope.
It's very fluid, and also, I mean, we are watching it in a somewhat compromised condition on YouTube. I don't know if the elements would exist, but this would look dynamite if it was restored.
Properly restored, yeah.
Yeah.
The other element that surprised me that makes it even more Fleischer Brothers was when it turns into a follow the bouncing ball
musical sing along,
which they did with those like Betty Boop cartoons and stuff like that. So if the Fleischer Brothers aren't the main influence for this, I will eat both the Fleischer Brothers coffins and their bones and their shoes and everything.
Oh, maybe it's a brothers thing. I mean, because there's 4 of these Wan brothers, right, who made this. So maybe there's something in the But no, so one of the Ox King's wives is very Betty Boop-esque. Like,
Yes.
Mm.
yeah. I was like right away, oh yes, you can see the influence.
I'm wondering
There.
if at this time it takes I mean, it's always labor intensive, but if you're doing things in the 30s and the 40s, this kind of animation is so labor intensive.
Oh yeah.
You have to have a team, right?
Mhm.
But what boundless imagination there is in this. I mean, it's just like, oh, it's just brilliant. I just loved every fucking frame of this. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. You both seem to be in agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I think it's interesting too, so the rotoscoping is used quite a lot for the kind of, I suppose, the more standard action. But when they really want to cut loose, they just get rid of the rotoscoping and then they do some incredible distortions of characters, like
Yeah.
stretching, things coming off of them. Like, yeah, it's really like in that way that like I remember John Kricfalusi complaining about how animation had gotten to this point in the States where if you went off model, you
Right.
know, you were like you weren't allowed to do that anymore. And he said, but you go back and watch the old cartoons and everyone's eyes are jumping out of their
Yeah,
heads and
yeah.
necks are, and so I like the fact that in this we're still back in that era of like, yeah, we're on model for this, but for this we're
Yeah.
gonna go way out there.
And that's the other thing as well. It is also a lot more slapstick than I thought it would be. I don't
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
maybe in retrospect, I don't know why I thought that, but there's a lot of kind of whimsical sound effects,
Hmm.
and what they call those fucking slide whistles and
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
all that. And yeah, it's kind of, it's simultaneously making you think of, not Looney Tunes, but slapstick cartoons of that
Yes.
era.
Yeah.
Whilst also telling this kind of obviously stalwart of, Journey to the West.
Yeah. And particularly it does do the Iron Fan, a wind and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing it's missing is Cab Calloway turning into a walrus while singing Minnie the Moocher. Otherwise, perfect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would say
But it's slightly beyond, like, I can't really talk about any specific or individual. It's all fucking
yes.
great. And if you like
there's
that
things.
era of animation, yeah, if you like those Betty Boop or early Popeye cartoons and stuff as well, it's a blast to see it kind of attached to telling a journey to the West,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, there's certain segments of it that were really impressive to me. Anything whenever Sun Wukong goes to the kind of volcano with that big creepy floating screaming head
Yeah,
thing,
there's just the face, isn't there? Yeah.
was really cool. Like it was very very well done. And you're right, the sound effects, like the sound Foley work is really interesting. Like often when Pigsy is upset, he gets these weird pig adjacent noises on the soundtrack that are kind
Yeah,
of
because it's not pig, is it? It's
not
like this
really quite
weird.
pig, demon
Yeah.
pig, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's really good. I think he's one of the standout characters, actually. I
Yes.
think
Mm.
what they've done with Pigsy in this is one of the best treatments of Pigsy we've seen in any of the versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact
But
that he can
also
take
he's
his ears off
pulling
and
the ear
fan
off.
himself with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also is the costume, and I'm sure this comes from artwork, further in history, but or further back in history. But he's also dressed exactly the same way as he is in the 60s, right?
Yes.
Mm.
With an open robe, and
Yeah.
and the makeup is clearly, from the 60s, is clearly emulating
So I read
Yes.
a bit. I
this.
read
So
a bit about him today, the character, and so like, do you know his backstory, Pigsy?
yeah, he's a general in heaven,
Yeah.
and
Who
then
gets
he
who gets
goes and
fired
gets handsy with women. Yeah.
Yeah.
specifically with Chonga, like the Moon Princess, the one
Right.
that's Sailor Moon and all the other stuff. But yeah, apparently he tried to feel her up.
Well, that's
And-
in one of these, isn't it? At some point, that they do bring that up, I think.
okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
if I remember. I mean, they do blur together a little bit in terms of not style, because Princess Iron Fan doesn't look like any of these other ones, but just which story elements are used in which. It sometimes gets a bit confusing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They made the wise choice here of just focusing on the one episode, which I think when we talk about Tezuka's the one that he's connected to, SAIYUUKI, you're biting off a little more than you can chew, attempting to do
Yeah.
the entire thing in, but here I think it's the right choice. And it's interesting how many of the elements of this show up basically unchanged in Shaw's treatment of Princess Iron Fan. Like it's quite, I mean,
Mm.
obviously they're taken from the same text, but I do think that they must have been looking back to this.
Well, so this interests me as if we follow the thread through. So yeah, so apparently the idea is that Tezuka Osamu sees this as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
That leads to him creating his comic version. But from what I was reading, this was made in Shanghai under the Japanese occupation, and it seems to have played perfectly fine in Shanghai. Like it wasn't something that was, it doesn't seem to have been considered in any way like they were trying to sneak some kind of, anti-Japanese sentiment in, and there was no censorship necessarily. But apparently it was banned in Japan, right? It didn't play in mainland Japan.
But how did Tezuka see
Well,
it
this
then?
is what I'm wondering. And apparently, so it's 41. He saw it in 44. So I'm wondering if it was temporarily banned and the ban was lifted or something like that.
Unbanned, you mean?
Unbanned, totally
Ah.
unbanned, yeah.
Okay.
Just like, now you can see Frank Zappa shit in a bucket on stage in the totally unbanned version. Nicely remembered, then, Nick. No one else knows what the fuck we're talking about, but nicely remembered. Yeah, so, but regardless, he did see it, and then, so he created his take on, and this is, pre him doing Atom Boy.
Yeah.
And
very early Tezuka,
yeah,
for sure.
Which then gets, I mean, are we ready to move on then from Princess?
Well, I mean, a few more things worth saying. It is just amazing to consider that this film is made under wartime conditions, right? Yeah, and under a hostile, invading force, basically. And as you said, they are rolling some dice there. They are taking a chance because the message of the story is clear. If we unite our forces, we can defeat this great evil that besets our land. There's no way of not.
But the thing is, it kind of mixes it with the official narrative, because that's the whole thing, isn't it? Is the whole, from the occupying perspective, is the greater Asia core prosperity sphere. So you can also read that as, yes, collective Asian forces against it.
Right.
So I think that's how they kind of got away with it, right?
Yeah.
But
also, there's like a subtitle, or title card right at the start of this film as well that says, "This is not I did write it down. This is not supernatural, but allegorical to teach young minds."
Yes,
is what it actually says. Yeah.
So it cuts both ways, really, doesn't it? That's the thing. It's interesting, and as well, apparently, it did serve as massive influence as well. So when the Japanese did make their full-on animated propaganda film, the Momotaro's Divine Sea Warriors or whatever it was called, it was, riffing off of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tezuka does his comic, and then that becomes the basis for 1960s SAIYUUKI out of Toei Studios.
Before we go on to that,
yes,
I want to bring another topic up,
okay,
which is the last thing I've got to say.
Yeah, go on.
But I don't know what the influence is on this, because it's not in the book as far as I know. But did you notice that Sand Fryer stutters?
Yes. Quite a pronounced stutter that apparently appears in no other version.
Yeah, that just came out of nowhere. That's just like an island to itself, isn't it?
I'm wondering, is there a character somewhere in the Fleischer Brothers cartoons? Because we shouldn't it's not just that it's inspired by Fleischer Brothers cartoons. I mean, entire sections are kind of lifted from Fleischer Brothers cartoons, right? So I'm wondering, I can't remember, does Wimpy stutter in the Popeye cartoons? I can't remember.
No.
I bet there's some stuttering fucking some Fleischer Brothers thing, and that's where that comes from. If I had to put money on it.
Yeah.
Or if it was just a way of distinguishing the characters clear. I mean, because I do quite like, again, Pigsy's constantly giggling and scratching the back of it the whole film. And then, Monkey's just fucking angry all the time. He's such an angry little dick, is Sun Wukong.
As he should be, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's not that likable. And I kind of enjoy the fact that in all of these versions, you're kind of like...
No, he's a bit of a twat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm kind of fascinated by Uproar in Heaven, the way that chooses to end, by not having him get his just desserts as we would have expected.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's not a very Confucian reading, is it? To have him just get away with it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I do like the fact that at some point, I mean, like, what was the conversation where Tezuka or whoever says, let's adapt, Journey to the West to film, and someone else would be like, yeah, like a piece of it, right? Like a section. No, we're gonna do the entire thing, and not just that. I'm gonna add some characters that aren't even in the fucking story. I'm gonna give him a girlfriend, and we'll pad it out. We're gonna pad it somehow.
The lovely Rin Rin.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's still called Dee
Dee, yes.
in the audio of the Japanese version somehow.
No, I think it's called Rin Rin.
I think Rin Rin, it just sometimes sounds. There's one story where it sounds a bit like Dee, but it is just Rin Rin.
Okay, not you two would know, but yeah, to me it sounded like he was saying Dee in the Japanese version.
Dee is the name of Annette Funicello's character, right? In those.
Yeah, and that's
and
in the Frankie Avalon version.
Yes, and that is why, which I did watch the entirety of before I asked Clive to replace it with one that wasn't so.
Yeah, I did that as well. Well, actually, I ended up watching them both. I watched half of one while I was watching the other, so I kind of.
I only watched. I didn't have time. I only watched the Japanese dub. The American one is also re-edited as well. Am I correct?
Oh God, yeah, the big chunks are cut out, and that's where
Les Baxter score, right?
That's where Sir Quigley Brokenbottom comes from, Clive. That was my at the big.
There we are.
See,
I wouldn't have got that.
Zhu Baiaji, however you say his name, Pigsy. Pigsy's name he's voiced by Jonathan Winters, who you may remember as the mentor to fucking what's his name?
Andy Kaufman.
Nope, the other one. Although was he Andy Kaufman's?
I think Andy Kaufman was a fan. It would make sense. Right?
But Robin Williams and him were.
Ron Williams, yes.
He was in Mork and Mindy and stuff. Right?
Yes.
Anyway, so
Jonathan Winters is one of those people I know by reputation and name, but actually I don't think I could pick him out of a lineup. What he looks like.
I've seen him in a few things, but the problem
is there's a Manor Man track named after him. I know that. Jonathan Winters, Frankenstein.
He's just more Robin. He's just like an older version of Robin Williams. So your mileage is going to vary depending on how much you like Robin Williams' frenetic, annoying, over the top cocaine.
Yeah, it's a journey with Robin Williams, isn't it? It's you like him when you're a child.
Yes.
And then you progressively kind of
find it irritating.
Warns. What's the word I'm looking for? That starts with a W.
Winds you up.
No.
Wears you down.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, so Quigley Brokenbottom is the name we get for. This is one of the reasons I asked for the SAIYUUKI version, because I was like, I can't. And the song. I mean, the songs are awful. I mean, if it is Les Baxter, it's Les Baxter at his most phoning it in I've ever seen.
And it's Frankie Avalon is the singing voice, but not the speaking voice of SAIYUUKI, right? Yeah. Or Alakazam.
But, I mean,
Alakazam the Great.
Is he called Alakazam the Great?
Yes, he is.
That's what Monkey is called.
But you've got, but it's worth watching for the pure fucking audacity of taking this story and changing it
and removing all
the
entire Buddhist context is basically removed.
There's none of it.
Magical La La Land or whatever the fuck it is, and it's just
and Merlin and Hercules.
Yeah, your Hercules shows up. I'm going to call it Hercules. Great writing, fantastic.
Although, in fairness, I haven't got a fucking clue who that character's meant to be in the Japanese.
No,
version.
in the Japanese version either. Yeah, it's a little.
Oh, I might have to watch.
Oh no, it's worth it. Now. It's fucking bizarre.
Yes,
because it is on YouTube, right? The US cut.
Yeah.
But so going back to the Toei directed, two directors, Taiji Yabashita and Daisuke Shirakawa, and apparently, according to the IMDb, uncredited Tezuka himself doing a little bit of taking.
Yeah, although he
directing
himself
reins.
downplayed that quite a bit. He said he kind of showed
Right.
up for a photo op, and then they put it out that he had directed the film, and he was like, "No, I didn't."
So I feel as if the both of you might not be too keen, and I'm wondering if it's because you had to sit through it twice or something like that. But so the thing is, I watched this the first of the three,
Okay.
and I think if I had watched Princess Iron Fan first and then watched this directly afterwards, it probably would have suffered from just a lack of kind of anarchy that was going on in the previous version. But I think this is solid. I think this is actually a very
Yeah.
good, very
Yeah, it's not.
classy, very well done, nicely animated. Like, I can see why this would have been a hit, which I believe it was. And I
Yeah,
think
for
it's
sure.
actually a nice piece of work.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of strangely, I see a lot of fantasia in this. So there's a lot more Disney in this, in my
Interesting.
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because there are a lot of kind of montages where things are transforming, where, you know, one thing's turning into another thing, and, you know, a horse unzips itself and then becomes a bull or something, and or dragon or fucking something.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever actually seen Fantasia all the way through. Like, I've only seen
Fantasia's good.
Yeah,
I've only seen, you know, the bit where he gets all the things to
Sequences,
dance, and and I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever actually sat through
Have
it
you
all
not
the way
seen
through.
the part that Bela Lugosi was apparently involved in, the one with the big satanic thing comes out of the mountain? That's
No, I don't think I have.
a
No.
really impressive segment of
Yeah.
I
No,
should probably
Fantasia's
give it a
legitimately
go.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But I see shades of that in this.
Yes.
And I say that as a compliment as well, because it's all well done. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's a cutesiness though to it that I think is missing from the Chinese versions. Like the character designs, they're more obviously, you're right, Disneyfied in a way. They're monkeys
Well, that
quite
would be
cute.
the Tezuka influence,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've lost my train of thought entirely.
Yeah.
Fill us
Well,
in.
I mean, I did like this, but it's taken some pretty massive liberties with the source material, right? Even the Japanese version.
Right.
And you know, as you said, Nick, that's with the girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever this fucking Hercules business is, you know, and then just instantly, spoilers, instantly get into India at the end without any other adventures.
We have very few episodes from the actual journey to the West.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
this one definitely works better if you just kind of relax and not worry too much about it being a definitive take on the text, right?
Yeah.
A bit of trivia. The Ox King or whatever is in this one as well. The Ox Demon King, and apparently he made a huge impression on the creator of Super Mario Brothers because he said he
Oh.
based the look of Bowser. He said
Instantly see that now. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he based it very closely on that character from So
Which one's Bowser?
Bowser is the one who keeps kidnapping Princess Peach, and
Oh, is that not called King Koopa?
yes, that would be the Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is that what it's
Yes.
called in the
Bowser is
I
in
didn't have Nintendo,
North
but I
America.
had Sega, you see, but
Yes. Anyway, so King Koopa.
we have, I believe, there's a similar confusion. Isn't Dr. Robotnik in Sonic called something else in other places, like Dr. Egg or something like that? Or
There is a Dr. Egg. Yeah, well, although is that in Mega Man though, possibly?
Mega Man, I don't know either, because again,
Okay.
is that Nintendo you're talking about there?
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking to two Sega kids here.
I mean, I had a Sega myself as well. But I was ambidextrous or bisexual or whatever when it came to
Posh, that is being
I'll
Sega.
tell you what you were, Nick. You were console fluid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you were in the magical land of or North America adjacent, Canada counts,
Yes.
which was a mystical land for us Brits, where you had kids who had comic book stores on every corner and could have more than one console.
Yes. Although
in the UK, you had to commit to one,
I never had two that were of the same generation. So like I had the original Nintendo, the Famicom, as it would have been in Japan, and then I had the Sega Genesis, which is
Don't try and downplay your privilege.
so it wasn't like I had two at the same time. I had just bought one, and a couple of years later we replaced it
Well,
with.
no, but neither did you commit to one format, and that was important.
I don't know about
Especially-
you,
actually,
Darren.
I never had a
I'm
Betamax.
thinking it's only a matter of time before little Lord Fauntleroy over there reveals that he had a fucking Neo Geo the whole time.
Yeah.
A friend of mine did actually. I did have a
Ah,
lens.
yeah.
I did have a lens
friend.
Neo Geo.
His servant, because he
Yeah.
gifted it to him.
That was the one that came with. Oh no, I don't remember the game. But anyway, there was a game called Military Madness that you could get for that was quite good. And the games were a little
He knows all
hard.
about it.
Yeah.
Well, because Neo Geo used to get like it. I think it was like the only place you could play Street Fighter or one of those really big arcade games. It was you could only get it on Neo Geo.
And the Neo Geo, when they ported over the games, they looked exactly like the arcade version, which was nice.
The classic. It's like having an arcade in your own home, isn't it?
Exactly.
The other one I think was probably not as posh as the Neo Geo, but was in that direction. Was the PC Engine, wasn't it?
Oh right.
Again, I know no one who had one of those.
No.
So
Nick probably had one in his kitchen for the servants to play with. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
So this is where this name Son Goku first shows up as well, right?
I was going to ask about that.
This is in the comic, and apparently that's a fairly major influence. Apparently, the Journey to the West comic book is obviously a major influence on the Dragon Ball.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's That's basically the title in Japanese for the Journey to the West. It becomes Son Goku. Well, it's the Japanese reading of Sun Wukong, right? It's Son Goku. Yeah.
But so Goku from Dragon Ball then is a direct reference to Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also,
by the way, I just told you everything I know about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, me too.
My whole knowledge.
And then it goes into, One Piece and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah.
Over the years, it disseminates.
There's a scene in this which was it shown in any of the other versions? It's the scene where Goku or Son Goku or whatever, Son Wukong has pissed off the Buddha, and then he tends to fly away from his palm, right? And the Buddha.
Oh yes.
Fingers.
After him, and then he sees the pillars floating in the thing. That is what made me realize that I had read this before in Milo Manara's adaptation of Journey to the West, which is called The Ape, which I read when I was a kid in Heavy Metal magazine. And there's specifically a scene where he's standing and he's pissing in the corner, and he thinks he's in a room, but he's actually in the hand of the Buddha.
That's in the book, and that's in Monkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a very that's like considered one of the classic episodes of Monkey the TV series, right? Because it's the one they showed when they had Kung Fu Night back in the 90s. They showed that episode.
Okay. So it's just funny that it doesn't show up in any of the versions we've seen so far, except for certainly. So what does he pee in the hand in the?
Yeah, he pisses on the fingers, thinking they're pillars.
Yeah.
Okay. So so they've obviously.
Yeah.
Just
I tell you, Nick, we do need to watch
as well.
The Monkey TV series slowly as we go.
No, we don't.
Yes,
we don't.
Me and Nick will. Yeah,
I will. Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah.
Are you not keen to revisit it then, Darren? You don't want to.
I can't. I mean, I'm being deliberately kind of devil's advocate. Really, I love Monkey TV show. But it's so. Although obviously I can't remember every episode.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the language of it is so ingrained in us, as I've said before.
Yeah.
That is it necessary?
Well, I'm going to watch it anyway, just because I've never seen the whole thing before, and then I might bring it up, and then if anyone wants to join in, then
yeah. Cool. Okay.
No, we won't do an episode about it. I think we'll just do a little chat about it somewhere.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you can't. I agree with everything you've both said about this. I think it's a lovely little film. It's odd, but you really can't talk about the Japanese version without talking about Alakazam the Great. which is fucking ridiculous. It is. I mean, you know, I mean, and the editing as well. So they've cut bits out, but they've also taken sections of the montages and put them in other
places. Yeah.
and made the new montage to put in a different part of the film.
When did the Alakazam cut? Was that 61? Was it the year after or something like that? Isn't
Not sure. Not sure. Yeah.
So it's pre Beach Party films, isn't it? It's before Avalon starts doing them.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
I'm guessing, but then again, that's what I know Frankie Avalon from his Beach Party films. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a whole history leading up to that, right? But for me, it's
but he wouldn't have got the gig because I'm presuming that was a name that they were using to sell.
I'm sure
right?
he'd had hits or whatever for years, right? But
weird then that the girl would be called Dee Dee, because that seems like such an obvious reference to the Beach.
Well, is it the other way around then? Is it
so that they named? That's even weirder to think that Alexander the Great could have been.
I'm going to look this up now. See what the US release for the Alakazam cut.
This just makes me realize that what I want desperately is for Alexander the Great, one of the dubbing actors, to have been Timothy Carey. That would have really elevated.
Oh yes,
considerably. I think
turn Pigsy into Eric von Zipper or whatever.
Would be much better than Jonathan Winters. The other voice that's really obvious once if you know the voice is Winnie the Pooh, right? So
Sterling Holloway.
Yeah, he shows up as the narrator and also I think playing at least one or two kind of minor characters as well. But it's
because he's a narrator as well, isn't he? So
he narrates the thing,
And there's not, if I recall, there's not much narration in the Japanese version, but there's a fucking shitload of narration in
because they
necessarily.
Because they need to explain what the fuck is going on. Like
exactly,
yeah. Here we go. AIP release the Alakazam cut in 1961.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And am I correct? Aren't the Beach Party films AIP as well?
I think they are.
I think so. I'm going to look this up. Here we go. Beach Party. Yeah, AIP. I'm just flipping through the wiki to see if anyone's actually pointed out that it was a reference to that does seem awfully strange.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, plus Les Baxter did the score for the first Beach Party film as well.
It continues.
Fascinating.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I guess Beach Party is 1963, so it's 2 years after this comes out. That's so weird.
Interesting thing I didn't consider before. It just came to me now that's
But yeah, I mean it's fascinating too because obviously this is the beginning of a long.
Whoa.
What?
Sorry, my apologies. So this is
Darren's just
Frankie
realized he's
Avalon's
drunk all 10 cans of beer
already.
No.
Falls out of frame.
This is Frankie Avalon's second gig in film.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I just looked him up on.
But he would have been a big deal on those pop charts, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But it's just this kind of these overlapping, well, AIP bits now, as we found out. But
it's good to know
he's in
that
one film before this.
65 years later, we're on the case to sort out the cutting edge cultural references of the day.
Yeah.
So we're about to get kicked off here. Is there anything more we want to say about Alakazam before we launch into HAVOC upon our return?
There's a couple of bits I quite liked. Sorry, Nick, I'm talking across you. Yeah.
No, well, I was gonna say, it's a good primer if you want to just get the whole story out, I guess. If you watch the Japanese version, the American version is not a good primer for Journey to the West. But it is a decent greatest hits, right? You get the monkey before he goes on the quest, and after, and you do get his story. It is the one that actually gives you the sense of him having an arc of going from being
but if you want, we'll get to it in a minute. But if you want accuracy, you go for the next film, right?
Okay.
But yeah, one of the things I really did like was how in both versions there are these kind of silly little moments like the heaven police
Yes.
and the little
Yes.
imp who whips out a telephone
Yes.
and then rings up
Yes.
the bull god, you know, and has like a transmitter, like an antennae
Yeah.
transmitting. So
There's
there's lots of little
definitely
cartoony
touches
elements.
of that bleed through from the 41, right? Via because I'm assuming that stuff must be in the Tezuka comic as well, which I've not read, but
Oh, you're gonna hate this, Clive. But actually, there was a section of the film where I thought, oh, fuck, George Lucas must have seen this and internalized a piece of this. Quite near the end, there's the fight scene between Monkey and that little demon kid with the horn, and it's on the kind of volcano side. And at one point, Monkey gets knocked into the
Oh, God.
volcano and is getting all fucking burned up, and he's really angry and he crawls back out. And then they cut to Rin Rin, who's dying of sadness. And I was like, this is entirely the last chunk of that fucking Revenge of the Sith. Oh yeah, I made you watch it not that long ago. You should be well aware of
you
it.
are right. You are right. I do hate that.
Yeah, but I'm convinced that Lucas must have seen it and just packed it away and then unconsciously brought it back out again.
Mm.
Who cares?
Yeah, and yeah,
gets up to.
and there's and there's this kind of cross-cultural thing. Like he turns to defeat the bull, he turns himself into a matador, doesn't he? And then sticks the bull with those little spears that the matadors use. You know, there's lots of kind of cross-cultural comedy elements in it, isn't it?
I would say that the Tezuka version is making reference in that whole bull section to the scenes at the end of the Iron Fan. They're very similar scenes. As is the whole volcano thing as well, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, finally here on the docket is Havoc in Heaven, aka Uproar in Heaven. Those wily Wan brothers from the Shanghai Animated Film Studios are back. This time in the director's seat is Wan Liming. This is Part 1, 1961, Part 2, 1964, and then put together as a whole thing in 1965. Now, two questions. One, which version did you both end up watching?
I think both. I think I ended up watching it twice. I know I watched the full length version, but I also watched sections of the one that's been restored because it's beautiful looking.
Yeah, I just watched the long version.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Yeah, I only watched the long version as well. I didn't watch the because there's a restored one which is shorter by quite a bit, right? By about 20 minutes. I don't know what the story is there. I don't know if there's print damage or something, but I have to say, glancing through the remastered version, it did look good, but the unrestored one seemed to have like a darker look to it, darker blacks and stuff, which I kind of preferred. I think like the remastered one seemed a bit like, sometimes remastering seems to get a bit out of control, and it's like the flavor or something has been leached out of it a bit. You know
This
what I
is
mean?
like the Sistine Chapel when everyone was all up in arms when they cleaned the ceiling. And then all the colors came out really kind of pastel-y, and they were like, "What the fuck's this?" But that isn't what it's supposed to look like,
right?
But we were not used to that because we had centuries of.
But I like the look of the unremastered one. It was a little bit darker. But the second question I had before we get into this, am I correct in thinking, Darren, that this was a childhood favorite of yours that you were returning to?
No, you've got it wrong. My one is my childhood one, which will get on the list eventually because we'll get there. Is Little Naya.
Nacha one, is it?
Nacha one, yeah.
Right. Because I do remember this. Oddly enough, I remember Havoc in Heaven being around, like seeing the VHS tape of the English dub.
No.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I remember seeing it in like, it's the kind of thing you'd find like in bargain bins.
Yeah. I know exactly the sort of release you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was Nacha similar?
No, Nacha's BBC co-production, bizarrely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And apparently this did show on British television as well at some point, I heard.
Okay.
But anyway, oh, okay, there we go. So we're all coming at it fresh then. Yes, so I got that wrong. So yeah, here we go. So back to Shanghai.
It's worth mentioning that a couple of years before this, one of the Wan brothers makes Pigsy Eats a Watermelon, which is a short 20 minutes.
Yes.
Which they kind of pioneered the South Park, like cutting stuff out of like paper crafting for animation.
Really?
Yeah, basically, and in fact, he is considered to be one of the pioneers of that form of animation.
That's on YouTube as well, isn't it? I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so I did actually watch that, and it's
a short film, isn't it?
It's a short film, and it is apparently a short segment from like a kind of a throwaway almost segment of the actual Journey to the West.
Oh, okay.
So clearly they were very, but yeah, I mean, you probably have read this, but they had wanted to make this right after the original Iron Fan. And for whatever reason, they couldn't get the money together. The war was still going on. And there's like this 20-year gestation period before they can get back to making this film.
I suppose the important thing the major difference is Shanghai is no longer under occupation by the Japanese.
No. Yeah. However, there are other issues now, right? And the cultural.
I wonder what that might be.
Well, the Cultural Revolution shuts down their entire studio, right? Like basically the year after the 64 version comes out, right? Or 65. Yeah, I guess the entire thing is shuttered by the Maoists.
Yes. I suppose we should consider us lucky that this animated version doesn't have Suo Kong kind of, have to re-educate himself and stand up and talk about all the bad things that he's done while other people shout at him and spit at him on the street or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It does feel like, in a way, this is almost a more dangerous choice to making this film than make the previous one.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
These Swan brothers were really like...
Yeah, because this film's overtly religious as well, right? It's...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, what's also interesting about that is that because of the Chinese connection as well, this was the one that was quite a big hit in the Soviet Union as well, right? So that's especially surprising.
Yeah, because really I mean, it's funny, I didn't think about it until I was reading reviews of it, but the word anarchic and anarchist kept coming up, and I was like, oh yeah, I do see that now. I do see Wukong as very much a kind of like, and the way that they treat the bureaucracy of heaven as this kind of very like tired kind of, there's something, they're clearly having a go at, right, yeah.
Also, I don't know what it is about, it's interesting, that's why I think this watching these three was really, really like one of the best shows we might do just in terms of consistency. Like there's something about this one, like you had the Anarchy, the Fleischer Brothers Anarchy of that one, and then the SAIYUUKI had that kind of classic, more this one was like in a very simple way, mesmerizingly beautiful at times.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I think well,
the Peking opera influence is unavoidable, right? And this one is the first one where we see, Wukong is quite frightening in this one, in a way. Like he's got.
Well, because I think his face is the same as the makeup they use in Peking opera, isn't it?
Exactly, he's been painted. Yeah.
This is Ray Winston from Scum as Suo.
Yes, exactly.
No, Captain Jack Sparrow, surely.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, okay.
He mentions George fucking Lucas. You mention Captain Jack Sparrow. It's a race to the bottom.
All right, okay. I'll redeem myself.
Yeah.
Vivian from the Young Ones.
Oh, there now.
Yes,
definitely. Yeah.
He may as well have very
I'm supposed to write an essay on it, but I might just stick it on the bonnet of my car. Yes, Suo Kong could be wearing a very metal jacket.
Definitely.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying because there's a lot of action in this, right? It's very action heavy. There's a lot of fights in it. There's a lot of stuff going on in heaven and with the monkeys
By the way,
but somehow, yeah.
just to follow that tangent, I can't believe I've never thought of this before, but it is actually genuinely quite fascinating that Vivian is the true anarchy,
Yes, of
while
course.
Rick is the fucking
Middle class
Yeah, Rick's the
wanker.
establishment. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because everybody thinks
But I never
Mike's
put the
the
two
establishment.
in before like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think
because
bad news did a really good job of drawing that out more, right? With Rick's character in Bad News as being an absolute middle class prat, pretending to be a rock and roller, but the character that Aid Edmondson plays in that is more genuinely
Oh, really? I think
working
they're all
class.
a bit like that in Bad News, aren't they?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But Rick is the one who works
But
in a
yeah,
bank and he wears a wig.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
But I
Beelzebub
think
with the flick knife.
What is it? Burning, looting, raping, shooting, whatever. That's my
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah.
yeah.
Burning, looting,
Anyway,
raping, shooting.
Yes, Darren, bring us back on track.
Yes,
Yes.
back to
Fucking Jack
back to
Sparrow references.
uproar in heaven.
no, I earned that. That's fair. But I couldn't resist. But yeah, but going back to what I was saying is there's a lot of action in this, right? There are a lot of
Yeah.
scenes. There's a lot of hopping between heaven and the Monkey Kingdom, and there's just this like endless stream of battles that Sun Wukong has with these various kind of deities as he goes up the strata of people who can't defeat him, right? And yet the pace seems quite slow. It's a really weird kind of because it's it's nearly 2 hours long, right? It's an hour and 50 something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And although so much is happening, it just seems to be happening at a kind of quite a gentle kind of simmering pace rather than a balls to the wall madness pace. Do you know what I mean by that?
No, I
Yes.
don't know what you mean. It
It's
feels
something
very
quite slow and
well, like I said, it's something. There's something a bit hypnotic
Yeah.
about it. Like there's parts of it I feel like, yes, I know exactly what you mean. This is taking its time, but I'm never ever bored by it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And this is bang on to the book as well because I started rereading Journey to the West
Okay.
fairly recently, probably about, I think I put it down. I read about half of it again, and then I got interested in something else and I put it down. And that
Are
was
you
probably about a
reading?
month ago.
Are you reading the Arthur Waley condensed one or or translation of the full?
Just the Whaley one. Just the
Okay,
Whaley one.
right.
Yeah. Which I must remember to buy actually. I forgot to get the expanded one. But yeah.
Totally unbanned it is.
Totally unbanned. But yeah, so within the last month or so, I've read the first few chapters of Journey of the West, right?
Right.
And that is bang on. That this follows, with the pin that saves the flood and that becomes his cudgel and
right.
Yeah, that was fascinating for me because I hadn't seen we've just been dipping in, and because I haven't read it, and so I was like, oh, this finally I understand what the fuck that little his cudgel can pull out of his ear, but then it can grow to massive titanic size and squish people. Yeah.
But that's exactly how it goes down in the book, is that it's this massive, colossal thing that's like the heaviest thing.
That you have like nailed into the sea floor to keep the sea from rising. We clearly need that now. We need to get on the phone to Sun Wukong and explain
absolutely
the climate crisis, and we need it back.
Yeah. And yeah, but that's all I wanted to express really is that it's I feel exactly the same as you, Clive. It is as you say, a hypnotic pace, and a load of shit happens in it. But you never feel overwhelmed by it, right? You never feel like,
no, because
he's got to fight another thing from heaven or
because
whatever.
the animated style is so clean as well, right? Like it's in a way it's the polar opposite of all that's going on in 41 Iron Fan, right? It's like there's just it's all and like deceptively simple looking. Like this kind of animation really interests me, and you don't see that much of it. This, to me, seems like a style of animation that you don't really see that often. Do you know what I mean? I can't think of whole swathes of animated films or TV series that look quite like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's something very ethereal looking about, like when the fairy ladies show up in the peach orchard or whatever. They kind of just
Yes,
float
when they're
everywhere.
flying on that cloud and they're like
Yeah.
the wibbly wobbly and
Yeah.
that whole
Yeah.
sequence, I was just like, yeah, I want. There's no other word for it. I was kind of quite mesmerized by it. Like I was,
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was thinking, why am I so transfixed by this? I couldn't quite figure it out.
I can only add
Well,
that
because
you can enhance the experience with THC, and it becomes even more immersive.
Well, that would be
it's
illegal here, so
Well,
I
oh
wouldn't
well.
be able to do that. Yes.
I don't know if it's illegal here or not, but anyway. Yeah, but it's so stylized. I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? It's as you were saying, it's a particular style of animation that's no doubt inspired by preceding art on this topic, right?
Yes.
You would think.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert on that, but
There's
I can
something.
see a mural that looks just
Yeah, no,
like this in a
absolutely.
temple.
Yes.
I think you're right there, as opposed to pre-existing animated versions. Yes, you're quite right.
Yeah.
And I wonder, I would like to know more about how it's, because I suspect it's that, yeah, like I said, it's that kind of thing of being deceptively simple, but extremely labor intensive to get
Oh,
things
yeah.
to work,
I
to
would
play like this.
think so. And the background paintings are some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, there's something, and there again, they are stylized, but they're incredibly intricate. Like they're so detailed. There's so much going on in any given frame of this. That you could almost yeah, frame any frame and put it on your wall, and it would be a satisfying piece of art.
It's like having an arcade machine in your house.
Exactly. I also like the fact that the what is his name? Like the god of the North Star. So maybe there's a reference here to Fist of the North Star, Clive. Is that also a Journey to the West riff? Probably is. Everything is probably a riff on Journey to the West in Asia.
It does run pretty deep.
Yeah. Why the fuck?
But also in answer to your question, no.
Why didn't Samo? Sorry, why didn't Samo and Jackie and Biao ever do their version? I mean, it seems obvious.
That would have been nice, yeah.
It's
Jackie
obvious to
would
me.
be a shoe-in for Sun Wukong, you would have thought.
Yeah.
Obviously, Samo
Oh,
and
yeah.
Pixie.
Obviously, Samo, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess the monk, you know, like because he's kind of good looking and whatever.
And a bit feminine. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like an obvious.
This can't be the first time this idea has been mooted. This
No.
must have been about in the 80s, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Billy Chow turning up and having a fight with Jackie as some heavenly general?
Yeah.
There's all sorts. There's all sorts we could.
Massively missed opportunity there, I think.
Yes. Well, that can't happen anymore, so never mind.
Maggie Chung as Rin Rin.
Oh,
But I do but I do like the fact that like they keep offering Monkey like these minor posts like to try to placate him, like, oh, we'll put him in charge of the stables, and you know, he very quickly figures out, this is bullshit. They are, you know, and so there is this repetitive nature too, which you pointed out, which is part of what makes it kind of mesmerizing, is the fact that in some ways it is telling the same story several times in a row. And yeah,
but that's also exactly how it goes down in the book.
The book, yeah. But I never felt bored or frustrated. It was just such a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, how many other shows have we done with this consistent high level of quality?
Good point. Yeah.
And I didn't expect that. I thought, you know, slightly cynically, oh, we'll get them 3 cartoons out the way. I didn't.
Well, arguably, you can say that Alakazam the Great is the low point of this, but it's so much fun to see, and you have to go back and see it, Clive.
Watch the American
But it's
version.
so much.
Yes,
fun
no, I will
yeah.
actually. I might do that tonight. Actually, when I'm in my cups, it sounds kind of perfect for that.
It is exactly perfect for that.
Yeah.
But I would say, I mean, I would think that any one of these is probably as good, if not better, than any of the four Shaw.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean,
hands down. Yeah.
if only one of them had a giant chicken,
Yes.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
you can't have everything.
Um, yeah, no, these were really impressive. I will say also though, because I went ahead because I wasn't sure what order we were going to do these in. I watched the silent cave of whatever it is of Silken Web.
Silken Web, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
And I think it's brilliant. So we'll get out of the way. We'll whether you agree or disagree, we'll talk about next time. But I was quite taken aback by by how early they've got this nailed down.
Save it,
And-
Nick. Do not shoot
Yeah,
your
I will
load
not.
too early.
I shall not. I shall hold. I will edge for the next month.
Edge
Yes.
it till next time. Yeah.
Yes, like the edge lord you are.
Mm. As long as it's not the edge from fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
But
I saw that epic Elvis Presley in concert film.
Oh, yeah, is any good?
I mean, it depends how into Elvis you are, but it is quite. It really illustrates like just. Obviously, I knew he was a big showman and everything, but just how much he is fucking conducting that band. Like everyone on stage is just hanging on him. It's quite fascinating to watch.
Oh.
But the reason I bring it up is because I was enjoying it quite a lot, and then at the end, it ends with a fucking poem by Bono.
of course it does.
And I'm like, for
Oh,
fuck's sake,
fucking hell.
Bono, get the fuck out of our music docs. He's always.
No, you know what?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not gonna watch that on principle now.
Or just turn it off.
Or
at the end
stop it.
or
No,
something.
no. They have to learn.
If you put Bono in there,
He's in
Yeah.
fucking anything. You think, oh, this is a Bono free zone, and then all of a sudden he pops
Ugh.
up.
No, God. No.
It's not right.
no.
Now,
Anyway, I'm
if it was
surprised.
if it was Boney from Trapdoor, as voiced
can't-
by
welcome.
Willie
Always
Rushton,
welcome.
that would be
You-
brilliant.
You can't have too much Boney.
If you were watching, I don't know, a documentary about the studio musicians who did all the Birds records, and then suddenly, Burke, came on, that would be brilliant. I just realised I can't do Willie Rushton, but
No, very few people can do Willie
That's
Rushton,
true.
I think.
that's true.
Yeah. Because I thought when you first started talking, I thought you were actually going to go Boney M.
Yes, I
I mean,
thought so too.
still better than fucking
Yeah.
Bonio.
Better than
Bono.
wait, and well, everything is better than Bono.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So we should circle back to the ending of this again, because we brought it up at the very beginning of the episode. But it is fascinating to me that they deny the punishment narrative piece, right? So in the every other version we've seen, Sun Wukong at the end of this is put in his place and stuck in a mountain to do his penance, and then he's not released for what? How long is he in there for anyway in the book? Is it
It's like thousands of years, I think.
Yeah. And then and even then when he's let out, he's still a fucking angry little fuck, and you know, it still requires quite a lengthy period of rehabilitation or whatever. But anyway, but I'm fascinated by the fact that this film ends with him just triumphant, going back to, you know, the whatever it is, his flower and fruit mountain, and being like, yeah, fuck you, heaven.
He's a recidivist motherfucker, is what he is.
It's I mean, again, for the time period, if you know that very bored looking Buddha is supposed to kind of be a stand-in for the Maoist officials, then it's a really anarchic ending.
I'm guessing the only way it could have snuck under just because people just thought, oh, it's for kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go then.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it cuts, but it does, as you were saying, it cuts both ways, right? It can be, you know, this sort of, we were talking about the Chinese occupiers, right? During Princess Ainfan, but the same I think goes for the Maoists in this. I mean, you know, those systems aren't that he's broken and that he's destroyed because of his freedom, don't necessarily have to be Maoist, communist, they could be the old systems of China,
Oh
right?
yes,
And
yes,
yes.
feudalism. Yeah, yeah.
very easy to spin that any way you want to
Yes,
spin it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It's a lot more subtle than some cunt in a stars and stripes helmet or something, a shield or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and for that reason, it may have been, you know, it would have been easy to spin had they, you know, had the government wanted to spin it that way.
But there we go. That's the end of this particular chapter of our own journey to the West.
Well, I was surprised we didn't have more to say about Havoc in Heaven, but I got nothing because it's just a delight.
Yeah, that's. I think all three of them, in a way, are just.
Yeah,
the main takeaway is watch them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose the one I'm most glad we were able to bring up, I think, was maybe Princess Ironfan, just because I suspect that's the one least seen or known about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you probably wouldn't switch that on unless you were doing something like this or had an interest in something like this.
Yes.
Yes. Without any interest in it or without a recommendation.
Yeah. And you know, other than people interested in Monkey and stuff, I mean, obviously there's legions of Fleischer Brothers fans who probably have no idea this thing exists. So yeah, they should definitely check it out.
I think its place in cinematic history is really important too. I mean, as you said, Clive, you know, the Japanese immediately attempted to do their version, right, with Momotaro. As soon as this came out, they were like, oh shit, it becomes like an arms race of animation. And it has massive influence, not just in China, in Japan, but in Korea, in Vietnam. Like this film became a kind of a Rosetta Stone in a way, I think, for animators and artists all over Asia to be like, oh, we can do this. We can do what Disney and Fleischer Brothers are doing over in the West or in America. So yeah, I think especially this one, I think Princess Iron Fan is a really important film in film history.
Yeah,
So,
no, agreed. But yeah, enrich your lives, watch all three, maybe even, as we'll find out, maybe even Alakazam the Great.
You know, for those of a piss-taking disposition,
right,
or those who like to be shocked by crazy American interpretations of Asian cinema, then it's kind of a must-see for those people in that niche, I would say. Would you agree with that, Nick?
Oh yeah. And then just the weirdest of hearing some of those voice actors that you will know so well from your own childhood attaching themselves to this.
So
it's hard to extract Winnie the Pooh from him, isn't it? It's just
it sounds like it might be a fun drunken watch, but almost the antithesis of doing a good job of it, a la Shogun Assassin.
Yes.
Yeah. Nail on head. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we might be having some more nails and heads and monkeys next time. So until then,
toodle pip.
Bye bye.